Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back for your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Stellar Lumens, aka XLM. So with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. So when we really look at what is going on, right? I have been talking heavily about XLM, and the reason why is because as we look at what Stellar is focused on, they are focused on builders on the actual platform. This is going to be very, very bullish for XLM. Why? Because it provides a lot of value and volume for XLM. Because as we start to see a lot more brands and companies and things like that utilizing the actual network, guess what? That all creates value and demand flowing over the network utilizing XLM. But we don't get that unless we actually have builders. This is the biggest problem with a lot of networks actually in this space, where you have a lot of people saying like, oh, why is the price not moving? Well, look at the actual network. Who's using it? Who's building on it? What applications are live? When it comes to Stellar, I really do think that a lot of people are overlooking Stellar at a time in the market where I think that everyone should have XLM on their watch list. And if you are very, very bullish on this space and the technology behind it, you should be very bullish on what Stellar is doing, because they continue to provide tools and resources for builders to actually go over to the Stellar mainnet and build out disruptive and innovative applications, solutions, you name it. And one of those big things that we have been waiting for is smart contracts. Soraban. We have from Danielle Dixon. Today marks a defining moment for Stellar. SDF extends a sincere invitation to all builders to join us on the Stellar mainnet. With Soraban now live, the Stellar smart contracts platform paves the way for limitless dApp innovation. This is legacy in the making, and this is probably one of the biggest things that has ever launched on Stellar in the entirety of its life cycle. It's a monumental day as we extend a warm welcome to all builders to Stellar mainnet. Soraban, the smart contracts platform on Stellar, is now live, empowering anyone to create, deploy, and interact with Stellar-based dApps. Guys, $100 million allocated to Soraban adoption. That is significant. This is a major move. Like I said, when it comes to Stellar and XLM, you need to be focused on what they're doing. It's not even just about tokenization, guys. It's about everything that is happening on Stellar. $100 million in terms of this adoption fund, this is big. I'm very excited to see what kind of applications are going to be coming over to Stellar and being built out and launching on Stellar. Like I said, this is going to be the start of major brands, companies, enterprises, institutions, you name it, tapping into Stellar, because a lot of these use cases are going to be very big, but also smart contracts. It's an absolute game changer. And this is a monumental day and a monumental moment for Stellar. And if we scroll down, we can actually see a full breakdown of this. To encourage development on Soraban, SDF has committed to investing $100 million into projects leveraging the network's smart contract capabilities in its pursuit to set a better standard where not only payments but everyday financial services are accessible to all. The fund has supported more than 160 projects to date. Guys, 160 projects. This is crazy. Adding smart contract capability is the latest upgrade from the Stellar ecosystem's application of blockchain technology to create equitable access to the global financial system. Having powered over $1.3 billion in transactions during Q4 of 2023 alone, Stellar has established itself as a leader in crypto payments, with its technology underpinning the digital asset activity of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and MoneyGram International, among other entities. And the introduction of smart contracts via Soraban will enable more sophisticated financial products and services to operate on the Stellar network, in addition to settlements. And if we scroll down, we can actually see that Soraban's 2-year testing period, which concluded in January of 2024, attracted 190 projects globally to its minimal viable ecosystem. During this time, SDF deployed approximately 15% of its $100 million Soraban adoption fund into supporting dApps, as well as major projects spanning across lending and borrowing insurance, auditing, and more. Projects building on Stellar include industry names like Axeler, which, by the way, is actually working with RippleXDev as well, Allbridge and Band Protocol, and DeFi newcomers SoraSwap, Finance, and Blend, to name a few. And we actually have down here a quote from the VP of Product at the Stellar Development Foundation. SDF aims to deliver the tools and technology necessary to power a next-generation financial system, one that is both decentralized and real-world ready. Sorbonne opens the doors for decentralized applications to easily plug into the existing global financial markets without compromising speed or scalability. We look forward to seeing a variety of world-changing dApps built on Stellar, and I am very, very excited about this. Like I said, I think that this is going to be an absolute game changer. This is what I love to see around some of these projects like Stellar that really need something like this to propel them into a much larger spotlight. I really do think that this is going to put XLM on the map, and I really think that this is going to change how everyone looks at XLM, because from here on out, I think that this is going to provide a significant amount of demand and value as well as utility for XLM beyond just the scope of what everyone has been looking at in terms of XLM, which is, hey, it's more so P2P payments. This is much larger than that. And I'm very excited to see what happens with tokenization. Now, also, Sorbonne actually put out a post regarding new, explore this amazing community-created ecosystem map of the many projects building the future of DeFi on Stellar with Sorbonne. And this is actually the full breakdown of the ecosystem players. Again, phase 2 has launched. We can actually see some of the projects on here. Some pretty big projects. I see a few that I'm actually aware of. But beyond that, we have down here the Sorbonne phases. Again, phase 2 is where we are at right now, which is user-ready mainnet. And then phase 3 and beyond is where we will essentially lead into, which is this is not the end of the journey. At the core of smart contracts on the Stellar network is scale and sustainability. And efforts to continue to expand capacity and introduce further capabilities to enhance the network's functionalities will be ongoing. So we will continue to see building and upgrades and major improvements happening on the network, which is a big thing to also focus on. But here are some of the projects. These are tier 1 validators, followed by DeFi on Stellar, and we also have Explore 100 plus projects. This is also coming soon. Like I said, this is actually from stellarlight.xyz. They are going to provide us with a lot more projects that we will be able to explore. This is coming soon. They are still, really kind of building that out, but there is so many projects already built out on Sorbonne. There's over 200 plus projects. This is very significant, and that community fund is going to be a game changer, as well as the Sorbonne adoption fund. There is so much happening here, and it's something that I think everyone needs to be aware of. These funds that are going to provide a lot more demand and growth for the network is exactly what a lot of people have been focused on when it comes to other networks, specifically the XRP Ledger. Guys, I've been talking a little bit about it in videos prior. I said, as we really look at the XRP Ledger, it is lacking builders. How do you bring builders into the network? Well, it's doing what Stellar's actually doing here. Like, this is a monumental moment, and it's going to provide a lot of incentives to actually build and launch products on Stellar. And Stellar is really perfect for something like this because of the efficiencies behind it. I'm very excited about this, and we already know how game-changing this could be because I put a spotlight on it when it comes to Hedera, because recently the HBAR Foundation, going back roughly almost 2 years ago now, was really supporting builders through funds, and everyone was like, oh, this is a bad thing because it's going to dilute the supply. It's going to provide a lot of sell pressure. Guys, all of those funds and all of these major things like this $100 million allocation, this is solid. Like, this is very good use of funds, because what this leads to is major building, major growth, and also utility expanding beyond the typical utility that we are aware of when it comes to XLM. And the same goes for even Hedera, because those funds were a game changer for Hedera, and it provided a lot more demand of the network and a lot more utility on the network as well, which is why I'm very excited about this. Now, outside of this as well, We know that Stellar has been marketing heavily around the world, specifically even in India, to actually have this Soraban Accelerated Bootcamp in India to provide a lot more builders and a little bit more of a spotlight put on what Stellar is doing with Soraban as well. I think that this is great. Again, marketing has been top notch from the Stellar team. It's only going to continue from here on out as well. I think that this is such a big launch that everyone is now going to be aware of what Stellar is doing. But then also you combine this with tokenization efforts, which I recently put a spotlight on as well. Tokenization on Stellar continues to grow rapidly. It continues to be a big deal. And I just made a video actually talking about XLM, XRP, and even XDC, and even HBAR as well around tokenization. I have to put a spotlight on Stellar. I think that so many people are just avoiding and ignoring XLM at a time where I feel as though it's a big mistake. I think that everyone needs to be aware of how big Stellar has grown to be, especially in the short term. And I really think it goes all the way back to when we start to see Stellar really kind of allocating funding towards marketing and growth and building. And that's where things start to change rapidly. If more projects in this space allocated funding towards growth and building, they would be very successful. A lot of the funding goes to waste, and it's on things that are just ridiculous. I think that Stellar is doing a great job. And I really do think that XLM is going to be a major player this bull run. And I've been talking a little bit about it. And I'm going to continue to put a spotlight on this because it deserves to have that spotlight put on it, especially when we do compare Stellar to Ethereum in terms of tokenization. Now, why am I bringing up tokenization again? Because I've been talking a little bit about it heavily. Well, it's also because of Soraban. Because now that we have Soraban launched, we can start to see a lot new capabilities for tokenization efforts. We have here that Soraban introduces new capabilities for issuers on the Stellar network. Learn how you could test creating yield-bearing assets in a testnet environment, such as certificates of deposit and bonds using the powerful Stellar Asset Sandbox. And over here, we have, if we scroll a little bit down, so this is enabling the advanced finance on Stellar. Again, it's all enhancing the network's capabilities through Soraban. This is a transformative step forward because it is going to provide a lot more efficient efficiencies behind Stellar in terms of finance and tokenization efforts. But we also have here the reach of the Stellar ecosystem can be extended beyond simple transactions and asset trading, diving into the realm of sophisticated finance or financial applications, that can cater to the modern demands of the financial sector. We have down here these new capabilities for the creation of new types of applications and expands the existing features capabilities. It can be used to introduce on-chain management of yield-bearing assets, among other advanced financial products with unparalleled ease and increased security. So this is a big deal. And we're also going to start to see decentralization, transparency, and scalability really being tapped in here, and even programmability as well in terms of financial operations. And that's where we scroll down and we really look at tokenization, because tokenization is going to really start to see a lot of these benefits realized in initially, because this is going to lead to a lot more adoption from institutions because of the efficiencies that are going to be provided on Stellar. And even up here, they do mention that slightly. So we have the Stellar Asset Sandbox showcased at the Meridian event in Madrid, stands as a cornerstone for asset tokenization on Stellar, enhanced by the integration with Soraban for smart contracts. This innovative tool, developed by Cheesecake Labs, provides a simple sandbox environment for businesses to experiment with creating, managing, and distributing digital assets, including smart contracts for yield-bearing assets with no code required. But how can we get there? Well, this is all because of Soraban. So this move is not only going to increase capabilities around tokenization, but it's also going to create a lot more demand for Stellar to build out on and launch tokenized efforts because of, again, those efficiencies. I'm very excited about this because now we are going to start to see a lot more growth and a lot more adoption even regarding tokenization. Right now, the only tokenization efforts on Stellar currently are those tokenized treasuries. But this is just one major thing that could happen on Stellar. There's a lot more opportunity here. So I'm excited to see where this really kind of leads to in terms of a lot more tokenization efforts, more so around real estate, for example. There's a lot more, right? Like, we know that on the XRP ledger, for example, or even on Hedera, real estate is a big one. but there's also other things around carbon credits. Beyond carbon credits, you also have NFTs around collectible art. You have companies now tokenizing things as well. Phygital into digital is a big thing. It's a big narrative. And all of this can be unlocked through these smart contracts with Sorbonne, which I'm very excited about. So I'm watching this closely. I'm very interested to see what happens now, but this definitely is a monumental moment for Stellar. I think that anybody out there holding XLM, this should be very exciting to you. And anyone that is not holding XLM, hey, maybe this will be something that really kind of motivates you to look more so into XLM, do a little bit more research, and possibly even take a position if you did want to. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on for some more free content. Because I'm more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.